we are alive. And that kind of rhymes. Hey, is this a freestyle? Sorry guys, freestyle stream. Because that is epic. Alright, are we live? Is it gonna buffer like it does sometimes? Probably. Is this gonna go smoothly? Definitely not. No matter, even if on a technical level it works perfectly, it's still it's gonna be awful. Okay. Guys, Gaster's in the stream, guys. Hello, Mr. Hello. What's the meme for Gaster? Sans and Papyrus, but as a fan fiction. Guys, did you know that if you go to your settings of Undertale and you change the fun value, then you can get some cool Gaster thing? I honestly don't even know. We're just gonna wait a little bit to get some more people to join. Because we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. I mean, we've done movie reviews before, but I wanted to do like a large scale review thing and live, so I don't have to edit it because I am lazy. Guy, how fun is that? I am lazy. Oh, I see. You guys just don't. You guys don't even understand. All right, we're getting some more people. Excellent. This truly is a society. My name is Chef. Alright, well, everything... Well, I want more people to join, because not many people are. But, I'm sorry I'm taking forever. But, the shirt that you're seeing was sent to me by my, AP teacher. Like, unironically. Well, it was like, that was his feeling, I think was the message. But I think that was probably the hardest I've laughed when I saw that image sent to me from my teacher. That was like probably the hardest I've laughed in, I don't want to say months, but in a very, very long time. Because it looks like I made that. Because I did make that. Like I didn't, but I definitely made that, you know? Anyway. Charge my phone so I can read the chat. Alright, 4 viewers, that's good enough. So this is a somewhat celebratory stream almost, because I have finished school. I mean, not that I was doing much with school before this, but now it's just official. I mean, I have nothing, not even in the back of my mind. There isn't even like a, ooh, I should be doing something. There's nothing. We're all good. So we're doing that, and also, we're doing a film-related thing because this is preparing me, or putting me into a critical mind space, for an activity I will be doing later tonight, which will lead into a video, which we'll probably talk about later in the stream. But, yeah, let's just stop procrastinating. So, I have watched, 24 films in the last, 2 weeks. Yes, 2 weeks, 24 films. And I'm going to be discussing all 24, and in the format of the hottest new format of 2020, the tier list. I know. Why is the music loud? Bruh. Alright, we're just turning it off then. I don't care. I thought it was funny. I thought it would be a funny meme. Let me listen. Bruh. Alright, we're just turning it off then. I don't care. I thought it was fun. What a cringe moment. When the streamer is Boomer. Bruh. Hive Swap Sans. Hello. Hello everyone, my name is Markiplier. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna do that. 24 films, form of a tier list, So this is not just out of 10, this is in the relation to the other films on this list. So you gotta take these with a grain of salt. And we're just gonna be... My face when the streamer is Boomer, when the streamer is actually Eminem. Boo, boo. I don't know what the joke was, but that was a Tony Zarrett punchline. XD random funny. So, yeah, and we're gonna go through these. I have my notes right here. I have the score. I am going to talk about my rating out of 10, the year it was released, and the director. And we're going to go in the order that I watched them. And so... my name is Chef. Okay, I was hoping... I just have the links to each of the movie posters just as links, so I honestly don't even remember what some of these are. So, first of all... Tokyo Story. I tried to set it up so it only would capture Photoshop, but it's showing everything, so we're just going to have to deal with cutting back and forth. And like I said, this is just going to be sort of shorter, just mini reviews, sort of just my thoughts and opinions on each of these. So yeah. Tokyo Story, first and foremost. It was pretty good. Thank you guys for watching. 1953, directed by... oh no. I'm gonna butcher a lot of these names, and I apologize. Yasuhiro Ozu... I apologize in advance. But, John Ever. Yeah, that's the end game, really. So this was sort of the first movie. I've watched 2 movies per day for the last 2 weeks, and this is what started this off, or sort of kicked it off, because it was kind of the best thing ever, a little bit. I've only ever given 5 films a 10 out of 10, and this joins that list. Or I guess this is the 5th, so. This sort of... Because before that, I was just sort of, barely watching much. I mean, I was sort of watching stuff on and on, yeah. Like the humans talk. Follow me on Letterboxd, please, by the way. All of these reviews, or my ratings for these, are all on Letterboxd. Please watch them. I need validation through followers. But so spoilers for some of these. But you can see I sort of just watched some stuff on and off for the couple of weeks. But then I watched this, and then I was like, okay, movies are kind of good. And so I started watching a bunch of other stuff, which we will get into. But this 10 out of 10, obviously it's high praise from me because 1 of 5 to achieve the title. And it's very simple, I guess. It's not very complex. I feel like anyone could watch this and still get it. Not to put myself on a pedestal or anything, but I feel like anyone could get I feel like anyone would like this because its concepts are very not basic, but very what am I saying? It works very well, is what I'm saying. And its themes are very upfront, but also very artistic and still well presented. The cinematography is amazing. I mean, it's kind of flawless, I guess you would say. Whoops. And so, since it's going to be the only 10 out of 10 on this list, spoiler alert, I think it automatically goes S tier. I think we're going to save the S tier only for 10 out of 10. And since there are only 5 of the... What did I just do? Okay. Only 5 of those in existence, so that is where that goes. Next. Get out of that. Okay, Enemy. I'm gonna sort of figure out more and more how I'm gonna pace these and these reviews. I'm just starting out, okay? I haven't planned this out. This isn't scripted. This is real. This is live, guys. That you guys just bear with me, okay? 2013, directed by some guy. I don't really care. But the point is that it is okay. It was good. I liked it. It was sort of like, I don't want to call it like, what, fake deep? Deep fake, but I mean, I'm sure. I don't know. I feel like it's easy to just like. I mean, you watch something like as confusing as Mulholland Drive, just for example, because that's like difficult to follow on your first watch, right? And then but you figure it out. Like, you get more out of it. Like, you can figure out what it's trying to say. And this, you can obviously figure it out. And I'm not saying that this is, like, above my level. But I'm saying, like, there are definitely elements of this that are just sort of blatantly confusing, I guess. Or, like, parts of it that I feel like no one could get on, like, their first watch. And so that's why I kind of gave it a 7. I mean, it was great. I enjoyed it. But there were just parts of it that kind of bothered me. And it was okay. I'm going to put it probably 7 out of 10 is probably C tier on this list. Because there are a lot of others that I rate really high. So we're going to put that in the C for now. The format of this is a custom-made tier list, by the way. You can probably tell for the impact font, but I kind of pride myself. I'm something of a graphic designer myself. So let's see what's next. I'm probably going through these a bit fast. Okay. Most of you guys have seen my most recent video discussing this film along with 5 others. And you know from the review I gave it an 8 out of 10. And I guess I would say that I'll go into a bit more detail here, but there really isn't much to say other than, like, I don't even know. The ending was great, but I mean, it's weird because, like, I really liked it a lot, and the story is interesting, and it's not, like, boring or anything, but it's just sort of, I don't know. I don't know why there isn't anything to say. It's just sort of like a movie with a story, and you watch the movie and you get the story, and it's just nothing very, like, phenomenal, I guess. It's just a story. And there's nothing wrong with that. I liked it a lot, but there's just nothing else to say. I gave it an 8 out of 10. So this isn't just, like, numerically. So I think it's going to go B, but this isn't like, this is a 9, this is an 8, this is a 7. There's going to be 8s in here, and vice versa. There's going to be other stuff. You guys just stick with me. Yeah, I probably didn't plan this out very well. I apologize that this probably is not very entertaining, but I'm going to get the hang of it. And like I said, this is more for me than for you. So, haha. Take that, chat. I don't even care about you guys. Ha. Poggers. When the streamer says poggers, it defines who I am. I only watched this one because of the cover. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, look at that. That looks cool. And it's like the song. It's like the song. Chat, it's like the song. And so I was like, okay, this looks kind of cool. And it was great. I mean, I think it was very much like, I feel like if I was just a couple years older, not that I just, because it's a lot of, like, what year was it? 2012, yeah. And I think this film would definitely like matter more or speak heavier to a person that was, well, not alive, but like aware of trends and social issues back in 2012. I feel like it would definitely speak heavier to someone that was actively not not a brainless child in 2012. But I still liked it a lot. I gave it a 7 out of 10. Yeah. Looks like Cards Against Humanity. Yeah. That's funny. Midnight in Paris. Okay, I'll check it out. So I'm probably gonna put that C tier because I thought it was really good, but also wasn't great. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was really good. So yeah, C tier. But I think other people, I could easily see why people would like it more than I did. All right. Next we have, well, everyone, you can see what I'm getting. The idea was it was going to be like a reveal and we would all sort of look at it and I'd do my little intro. But no. Rashomon. I don't know if there's a different pronunciation, but the 1950, well, I was going to call it a classic, but I don't really know if it was. But point is, this is sort of a very rare film, I guess. It's very unique, I would say, in its presentation and formatting, I guess. Pacing, specifically. Akira? Dude! Yo! If you frame... Look, we're talking about a completely different movie, which we are actually reviewing on this stream. Dude. Okay. But, it's a psychological thriller, according to its description on the Criterion Collection. It was a psychological thriller about the murder of a man and the crimes done to his wife. I don't know what I can and can't say on YouTube, but it's the exact same story but told from the 3 different perspectives, and each person has their own reason for lying, and each person has their own idea for justice, I guess. It's a movie about justice and like human spirit, I guess, or the faith in man, or just the just like the Cards Against Humanity. And I gave it a 9 out of 10. I loved this film, actually. I would say probably if I rewatched it, don't remember if you liked it or not. Oh, I like the movie. But I gave it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was amazing. I don't know about amazing. I don't want to use just like normie tier adjectives. I cannot speak. I apologize. That is why it goes in the A tier underneath Tokyo Story. Because it's still, I don't know. Why is, well, I guess it's because I'm streaming. I shouldn't even question it. Okay, so we have some stuff. There's going to be a lot of 8 out of 10s. I don't even think, there's only been one so far, but there's going to be a lot. That's why I went on Twitter after a while. It's just like, hey, give me some 6 out of 10s or lower. Favorite is Seven Samurai. Yeah, I have not watched that on this list. I feel like I've watched parts of it, but because it's just so long. And also on the place where I'm watching most of these older movies or good movies, Canopy, they have like, you get 10 credits a month for free, and each credit you can watch one movie, but Seven Samurai is so long that they have it broken into 2 videos, and so it's 2 credits to watch. And so I'm just like, bruh. Don't you mean A Bug's Life? Yeah, he does mean that, actually. Philadelphia. Tom Hanks, Denzel. Where? Philadelphia was all a dream. Where did it go? Oh, there's too many. They're Why am I laughing? SirChancealot discovers the duplicate tool live on stream. SirChancealot poops his pants live on stream. This is the gay movie. This movie's pretty. I'm funny, edgy man. I make the funny joke in front of the YouTube to get funny views. I like this a lot. I think, again, like with Killing Them Softly, it was very much a product of the time period. I mean, it came out in 1993, which was right around the time. I mean, I was not alive then, so I can't really speak. But I mean, the HIV, AIDS, the just misinformation, the public opinion. So it came out, it was very much a film with a purpose. And you have to put that in context for when you're watching and reviewing this, because it's not just a movie, it's also a movie that was made in a different time and also with a specific purpose, which is sort of informing, I guess you could even say. As for the actual movie, I thought it was pretty good. I feel like this, is very fast-paced, I guess. Not in, a action, exciting way, but it's just very, felt like every scene was progressing the plot. And not that that was even necessarily a bad thing, but it was just, everything felt necessary. And so I feel like that definitely could have been... sorry, I was reading the chat. I'm not just brain dead. Could have been some, I forgot what I was going to say. More scenes, an extended cut. I don't know if there is, but in its current state, I gave it a 7 out of 10. I liked it a lot. C tier, because I'm biased. Oh no, they're taking over again. No. I did like it a lot, though. We're probably going to have to move some of these closer, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of C's. There's going to be a lot of B's, actually, because I gave so many 8 out of 10s. Oh boy. Oh boy. Modern Times, like from the video I made. This was kind of the best thing ever. I gave it a 9 out of 10. Very much a surprising amount of 9s in this time period, because there's only 12 9s I think I've given. But I don't hesitate at all calling this a masterpiece. I kind of laughed more watching The Kid, but I think I also watched The Kid later at night. And so that sort of affects, what you laugh. You guys know how it is. Had some random parts. I mean, I thought the ending was very profound, I guess. I mean, it was very direct, but it was nowhere near The Great Dictator, but that's a different thing. That's not on this review, and so that's why I give it A tier. Because it was pretty funny, too. And that also, you got to take in mind, this was made with the purpose to... You have to respect something that's made to entertain with the intention of making a social commentary on the 1940s working class, Great Depression, unemployment rates. So, yeah, A tier. Alright, we're making some progress. M for Murder. I'm just gonna sort of knock a couple of these out because we do have a good bit to go. Uh, very straightforward. It's an easy example to just look at and think, okay, this was made with the concept of the idea of a man who thinks he has the perfect murder completely planned out and how it goes wrong. It's a very simple premise, and not that it doesn't expand off of it, but it's still a very basic premise, and it is just executed, and then you see the consequences. I guess that's spoilers. I don't know. Is that kind of spoilers? But it ends a little fast, I guess. But like I said, the purpose was exploring that premise, and it did that thoroughly. And then I guess you could say it did its job, and it sort of just wrapped up. It wasn't like a Suspiria level just ending, but it was. I would have liked a bit more. But other than that, I pretty much no complaints. B tier. I'm saving the A's for like really good stuff. Actually, I don't know. I might move Modern Times. I don't know. I'm thinking in between. We got to do it relatively. So I think we got to put Modern Times as like the highest B. So, yeah. Because we got to keep our A's at top keck, you know? Where's my mouse? Oh no. Oh no. Which one was I on? Alright, stream's over. Okay, there we were. Ooh, is C-Man still here? I assume some of you guys are still watching, but it's fine if you guys aren't commenting. I realize this isn't funny entertainment like we usually do, but why is it? What? Where are my layers? Why is it not? What? Okay. Why are there black bars? Okay, hang on. Graphic design is something. Oh no! As I was saying that. Okay. Good enough. Okay, Day of the Dead. This was recommended. I only watched it. I'm gonna be real. I only watched it because C-Man recommended it. Or it was more of like an order, actually. It was very scary, actually. I don't know why I said that. I'm trying to be funny, but I'm also not funny at all. But in terms of effects, I mean, there's you have to look at this in multiple ways. I mean, I watched Night of the Living Dead, and I skipped Dawn, and I went straight to this, and so that's a solid like 20-ish, or like 20 to 15. I honestly don't even know, but that's a solid jump in years, and to see the jump in effects from night to day, the difference was night and day. That was good. You can quote me on that one. But now this might get controversial now. I mean, the final like 20-15 minutes were purely just sort of just showing off their effects. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's why most of the people were watching the movie. And that's the best part of it. And it has one of the most solid practical effects in, I guess you could say, film history. In terms of horror, I would say. Oh, it's now on video. Guys, it's now on video cassette. Bruh. Hang on. Going to Best Buy. Or I guess Blockbuster would have been a funnier meme, but that's what happens when you do these things live. You can't. Whatever. But as for the story and the actual movie, I mean, it had its charms. It had its moments. I mean, especially for Bub. I mean, I liked that a lot. I like the sort of just struggling, or not well, not struggling, but the people part. I liked that a lot, but there wasn't a lot of strong points in terms of the story, which I mean, the original was sort of a critique on society, and this was just a very much like straightforward story. It reminded me, I don't know why, but it reminded me of like the, I guess, third or fourth Planet of the Apes, no, third Planet of the Apes sequel. Well, I guess third film in this franchise, which for some reason I am very well versed in the Planet of the Apes lore. And this just sort of reminded me a lot of that, and I don't know why. I think it was just the way it was shot. It looked very visually similar. But, I gave it a... What did I give it out of 10? Ooh. Might actually change that. I don't know. I think I need to rewatch it. It's probably... It definitely will grow on me if the more I watch it, but, I put a 6 on here, but that doesn't seem right. Because I put a lot of other stuff as a 6. Definitely enjoyed this a good bit. I don't know. I'm going to change it to a 7. It's a 7. It's a 7, but that's C tier, unfortunately. I don't know. I'm changing my mind. Live. It's style over substance. I agree. And especially for, I know you're much more interested in the effects. And like I said, that's like the biggest thing that the movie has going for it. Yeah, we'll put it here. We're gonna run out of room. Don't worry, I'm sort of a graphic design is a passion of mine. We'll figure it out. Next, I can't keep spending so much time on these. Let's get 3 in a row. Actually, no. Oh, that's a dress. Okay, funny anime movie. And this is an anime movie. I was going into it with sort of the expectation of just like a movie that is Japanese and also animated, but it's very much an anime movie. I can't exactly say why either, but it is an anime movie. I think just the logic and the pacing. It's like a movie that is an anime. Or an anime that is a movie. But I watched this. I was talking about this with Connor and Emery yesterday. And I watched this in probably the worst conditions I possibly could have. It was free on a site called tubi.tv. tubi.tv. And I am recommending them because they have a lot of free stuff. And it's completely legit, too. They have a Wikipedia page. If you have a Wikipedia page, then you kind of have to be legit, as far as I'm concerned. And there are ads and stuff. Well, that's weird. Sometimes there's ads and sometimes there isn't. Like, I watched Lake Mungo on there, no ads. And then I watched Dancer in the Dark on there, 7 ads, but it was the exact same Frito ad 7 times throughout the 2-hour movie. And it got just, you know? You know? And so it was free on that. I was like, it's free. And so there were ads. It was solid like 360p, I would say. But the worst of all was that it was dubbed. And it was buffering sometimes. So it was probably the worst conditions possible. Yeah, I guess it is just like a luck thing. But anyway, so it was dubbed. And so, like, I would say, like, 20 minutes in, I got just completely just zoned out. And I just started playing Super Mario World on the SNES Classic. And so I was just, like, half paying attention. I was just bored. And so I feel like I watched it, but I didn't even watch it. You know? Like, I feel like I didn't even watch it. But from what I did watch, it's still an 8. Well, that was sort of the thing I just had to round up because I know everyone ever says it's kind of the best thing to ever exist. But anyway, me, Connor, and Emery are gonna watch it sometime. So, my updated score will. I know. This is my biggest regret, guys. I'm gonna have to make an apology video on this. I've made a mistake, but I'm still reviewing it. I put it 8 out of 10. I just sort of rounded up. I'm gonna put it C tier. C as in captions next time. Whoa! Oh! Like the regular time. Whoa! Regular time. Wow. That's the new low. Wait. There's gotta be... Hang on. No. No, this is perfect. This is perfect. Now I can make my joke. The movie Good Time, then there's regular time, and then there's bad time. That was my joke. Yeah, I'm not reviewing it, but I'm putting it on the tier list because I watched it. I skipped one. I absolutely skipped one. But we are going to knock 2 of these out because they're very similar, as a matter of fact. Why is it, like, underneath? Why is the layer being pasted? Oh, it's because I didn't select the top layer. Okay, that's fine. Hang on. Technical difficulties. Under the Skin. This one was also a recommendation from C-Man. And is very it's weird, but it's like it's my type of weird. And I feel like it's not for everybody. It's sort of like bizarre. And it borders on like comically strange, I guess you could say. I mean, I laughed at one part because the guy was naked and he was dancing into the water. You know the one if you've seen it. But I liked it a lot. You could say I even loved it. Had a genuinely like pretty like terrifying moment. The deflation part. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It kind of sticks with you. But it's very good. I guess you could say. I'm not good at this live. It takes me like a solid, like unironically, when I'm writing the scripts to those reviews, I spend an entire day just on the script because I'm not good at speaking. I can't just sit down and record. I have to have every word planned out. And then you guys don't know how long. Like the Lake Mungo video is probably like 7 minutes. Probably like 5 minutes of me talking. There was a couple of clips in there. And I think the audio recording, unedited, was like 40 minutes long. It's just like pure outtakes. Like I'm not good at speaking, is my point. What were we talking about? This movie is pretty good. Don't watch it with your grandma. And I'm putting it in the B tier. I feel like bad for the people that just watch it for the the people that don't watch it for the plot, if you know what I mean. Feel bad if they just went in hoping for something else. They were very disappointed. And okay, and the next film, Kubrick's final masterpiece, Eyes. I don't know if this is officially Criterion. This might actually be an edit, but hire a SirChancealot impersonator? Bruh. I'm thinking about going on Fiverr and doing video editing, but I don't know if I'm good enough, actually. But anyway, another very like a sexually charged movie, and I can say that. I mean, the other one wasn't. The other one was about Under the Skin was about what it's like to be a human, what it means to be a human, and yeah, that's what it's about. Spoiler alert, but you kind of figured that out. But this is very much the movie is about that. Is very good. I liked it a lot. I thought its visuals. Well, I mean, you've definitely seen the ballroom scene, or not the ballroom, but the party scene. You've seen that somewhere. I know you have. Yes, you. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. You have seen that somewhere, even in the. I guarantee you've seen it in The Simpsons. I know you have. Don't lie. But I mean, that's the most visually memorable part of the movie, and that's only like a solid 30 minutes. It's a 3-hour movie. And I mean, that's the best part of it, right? I mean, you can't top that because of how visually memorable it is. But also, it's very, but the rest of it is also not to be forgotten. I mean, that's, when you think of this movie, that's what you're going to think of, but it's very much also about, it's never explained either. What you see is never explained, and that's the point, I think. Well, I mean, I don't think. That is the point. And, sort of, it's more of about the characters, and it's about just exactly what it seems like it's about. I mean, it has its charm. I mean, it's a Kubrick film. It's the final Kubrick film, and it's sort of about, I guess, just attraction and the difference between attraction, just purely sexual attraction, and like a genuine connection to another person. And it's about that difference, and it has that memorable scene, but I don't think it's fair to just put that into the only thing that you remember about the movie. I gave it an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, I'm sorry. One of my favorites that I watched in this period. I feel stupid if that's a fake Criterion, just edit. That would also be kind of funny. That's not correct. La Strada. This is an Italian film, by the way. It's a documentary. Exactly. What I'm trying to say is that it's a documentary. This was Federico Fellini's not debut film, but one of his first mainstream, or it's the one that made him famous. And I loved it. 8 out of 10. I like Federico Fellini directed 8.5, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. Possibly my favorite. I would say it's probably my candidate for greatest movie ever made. I don't know. But this is probably less people know about it in this chat, but it's about a girl who goes into this circus, or I guess not circus, it's an entertainment. It's like it's just her and this other guy. And it's about sort of purpose and role in life, but also in the just grand scheme of society. And the guy is very abusive. It's her husband, but she sort of like only marries him so that her family could get money. And I think it's ultimately about purpose and where you fall in this hierarchy of existence, and sort of coming to accept that, I guess. But also, and it's a very sad film, despite its outward appearance. I mean, it has its fun moments, but it's very sad ending as well. Unexpected ending, actually. And I could see people not liking it, or I could see where people could say it hasn't aged well in terms of like its message towards like abusive relationships, because it definitely could appear as if it promotes just like stay with your abuser, but I think that's not what it's going for, because it's not telling you should do this. It's making a message, whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm thinking about putting this in A tier. I really like this a lot. I think I'm going to. I'm probably going to move it down. That's why I didn't want to just give this a numeric scale, because this way it's something different for the stream. Like I haven't thought this out. This isn't scripted. I wish it was. Okay. I think we're about halfway through, I would say. Maybe. I have no clue. Yes! 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 What are we, some kind of Suicide Squad? If you haven't watched this, just watch it. Hang on, I'm gonna drink some water. I'm gonna mute because I'm very insecure. It was a large consumption of water. That's why I was muted for so long. If you haven't figured it out, I'm kind of an Orson Welles... Oh, I should probably... Orson Welles fanboy. Orson Welles. Someone make an edit of that. Right now. Someone do it. Make a mashup. Make a mashup. Sound theme from Citizen Kane just a bunch of whales crying. That's a mashup. That would get you some views. This is his final film, but it was only released on Netflix. It's a Netflix exclusive. Released 2018, late 2018, and I don't know, maybe I just completely passed me, but I don't think they very much advertised it on Netflix. As you can see, it says 40 years in the making. This is what he spent the final years of his life making, and he never saw it released. We'll talk about this more in a documentary I watched. I believe it's this? No. This. Netflix also released a documentary with this about the movie and about the final years of his life. And he died very unhappy, very unfulfilled, and it's insane that most people, the most famous thing that people know him for post Citizen Kane is the French champagne commercial, and that makes me very sad. But anyway, so... Oh no, I lost him. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. So I watched... And to give you a reference, I watched most of these. I think it was... Let's see. I was watching 2 a day. I watched Tokyo Story as 1 day. And then I watched 3... So this is probably all in the span of like 4 or 5 days. And I watched Under the Skin. And the next day I watched Eyes Wide Shut. And it just seemed like every single movie I was watching just had just so much nudity. And I was like, okay, it's kind of getting a bit ridiculous. I just want to watch something wholesome. I'm going to watch the final Orson Welles film. And then I open it up, and the first thing post-title scene, it's just this completely... just very, I should say, explicit shot, and several shots, and then I was like, it's just funny that I was like, okay, I'm finally gonna watch something wholesome. And then throughout the entire film, there's so much nudity in this Orson Welles film. When he was like about to die, he was like 70 or 8, he was like, I think 80 when he passed. But it was just very strange. It was unexpected. Well, it's because there's a film within the film that's satiricalizing the European like art house film. It's like a parody almost, but it's not played as a parody in the logic of the movie. Anyway, just go watch this. I feel like Netflix completely sort of just hid this. Hang on, I gotta fix something. Gotta fix something, hang on. Gotta fix something. Oh no, I broke the computer, didn't I? It's not gonna work. Oh. Hang on. I gotta do something really quick. There. All better. But, definitely 9 out of 10. No. Yeah, 9 out of 10. It's close to a 10. Is very close to a 10. Probably one of the closest ones to a 10. But for me, a 10, I have very high standards for a 10, as you can probably tell. And there's just, like, there were just very extensive parts of that, like, film within a film, and I just, like, got tired of it after a certain point. But please watch it. The soundtrack is phenomenal, and we'll talk more about it when we're talking about the documentary, because that very much fascinates me. What did I watch? The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I finally watched. The birth, or the popularization of the spaghetti western. And yeah, I sort of okay. Going into this, I just watched it because I knew it was good, right? But going into it, I really didn't know anything. I mean, I knew it was a western. I'm not a big fan of westerns, but I know this is like the classic, right? So when I was going into it, it's like, okay, it's called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I thought to myself, I know exactly what they're going to do with that title. It's going to be the ending of the movie. It's going to be like kind of a like bounty hunter, and then sort of like the like Mike from Space Cop, sort of like the good morals, but also a bit morally flexible, but also like sort of a, hey, you can't do that, that's wrong. And then the other guy's like, I'm a bad person, but I'm chaotic good, you know? They were gonna have that sort of dynamic, good cop, bad cop, but as bounty hunters. And so the ending of this movie was etched in my mind. I can still picture it, and I knew for a fact it was going to happen. And it was, there's gonna be, they kill like the main antagonist. I didn't know if it was a like rivaling bounty hunter, or maybe even like a lawman, law enforcement man. But it was gonna be the ending, and the two of them, or maybe just a massive shootout. They're the only two survivors, and it was gonna be, the good guy was going to look at the other guy and be like, hey, they're going to be like, this is exactly, I knew this was going to happen. He looks at him. He goes, do we really deserve to live? And they really deserve to die? And the other, like, gritty bounty hunter was going to go, listen here, kid. There's only 3 types of people in the world. The good, he points to the kid. The bad, and he points to himself. And he goes, and the ugly. And then he points to one of the corpses with like a bullet just in their face, with their just head blown off. And then it was going to have him ride off in the wind, and that was going to be the ending. And I was so sure that was going to happen. But it was very blatantly shown that each one of these are actually the good, the bad, and the ugly. There wasn't enough of the bad. He kind of disappears for like most of the movie. And I kind of thought that they could have developed him a bit more. Or like they set him up as this like he's bad. They set him up as his thing is like I always finish a job that I'm paid for. I'm a bit sick, actually. I don't know why. I just sort of realized. So I liked that dynamic of him, like, he's sort of like a chaotic neutral, or he's just like, but then, like, that's established, and then they don't really do anything with that. So, I gave it an 8 out of 10 because it was a bit long. That was another 3-hour movie. But also, it definitely belongs up here because the ending, one of the best endings, I would say. The piece of music, oh yeah, the score is great. But it also gave birth to the spaghetti western, which I'm not a big fan of. In GL. Where is the cruiser? Okay, there it is. Not cruiser, cursor. Okay, that's that. Alright, we're making progress. How much? Okay, we don't have much left. Okay, Persona. Now, I'm probably the only person alive. I'm the world's first Sweetaboo. Sweetaboo, yeah. I don't know why. I don't know how it happened, but I'm sort of like... Well, it happened because Ingmar Bergman is one of my favorite directors of all time. And this is by the people of Sweden survey or whatever. This is their favorite movie, favorite Swedish film of all time, with critics' consensus being The Phantom Carriage, which is entirely on YouTube. Watch it on New Year's Eve. Definitely recommend. But we're talking about this, and it's very interesting. It's barely like 80 minutes. It's very short. In fact, it almost felt like a short film. It didn't feel like a very... Not that it wasn't complete, but I felt like it was very much a... It was the length it should have been. I didn't want it to be longer. But don't go into it thinking of a short film, because it goes by very fast. But it's about schizophrenia. Quote Bergman himself: schizophrenia and the lesbian attraction. But also identity in society. Again, purpose in society, place in society. It gets very confusing. I think you could compare this very much to Mulholland Drive, which is actually kind of a similar story, now that I think about it. Well, Mulholland Drive definitely had more of a plot. This is very much more abstract. But it kind of feels... It's a very similar feeling. And it's great. Like I said, it was very short. But it also has a reoccurring shot, that... If you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's very similar to the poster here. But, it's terrifying? Like, that's the only way I can say it. It's just very unsettling. It's when they're both looking into the mirror, if you watch it and come back to this. And it's very scary. Other than that, not other than that. That's not a negative. That's a positive. Did its job very well. It was very unsettling, very different. I would say it's very unique, very grand as well, even though it's sort of just in one location. But it has this it's Bergman's very environmental, like open and grand, sort of almost like medieval, I guess you could say. Not medieval, but just very vast, like exposed shots. Like, it's very bright as well. Or the use of whites in this film are very blatant. So A tier. 8 out of 10, by the way. Haven't really been keeping up with the scores, and like I said, we're kind of running out of A's and B's. I don't remember quite what the next one is. Is it the Orson Welles? Okay, I'm gonna talk a bit about... Oh, what did I do? So this was Netflix's documentary about Wells's final film and the ending of his life. Okay, So I'm going to go into a bit more depth about Other Side of the Wind with this, because they're intertwined. And you might be thinking, how could the story of the making of a movie intertwine with the movie? Well, allow me to explain. You know the meme of like the guy like talking to the uninterested girl? This is me right now, because this fascinates me, basically, is what I'm going to say. But it's Other Side of the Wind is meta in a way that a film has never been meta before. Well, the whole thing is autobiographical. Wells claims that it was not, but it 100% was. And I think everyone pretty much recognizes that. But even beyond that extent, like the events of the movie almost sort of started happening. Well, it's hard to explain without getting into spoilers, but is the chat? Hang on. Making sure my phone is working. There, we're good. But the point is, I haven't said anything. Just watch the movie. It has an amazing score, by the way. I was listening to it while taking my AP exam. I don't want to show you guys my music, actually. But amazing score. Very jazzy, sort of like... Anyway. Cuts back and forth between black and white and colors. Very, very, very well made. The documentary and Other Side of the Wind. But just watch both. I was going to talk about them, but I cannot speak. I gave this a 9 out of 10. I gave a documentary a 9 out of 10, which I feel like is kind of unfair. Because it's like what's happening? Because I only like the documentary because of the subject matter. And it's like, it doesn't really... Like, I'm not judging it on its filmmaking or even the way it's put together, but just purely on the story that it's telling. So I feel like that's kind of unfair. Why is this... Okay, that was kind of weird. But yeah, I find this subject matter fascinating enough to give it a 9 out of 10. I'm going to extend this a little bit. Let me just sort of move these. Like I said, this is very much boring and uninteresting for the viewers. I would not be surprised if I was to have like no viewers for this. But like I said, I'm doing this for me right now because I'm doing something after this that... Where did I put this? It was A tier. Yeah. That requires a... Well, I just wanted to get my mind thinking about film critically. I'm just going to go ahead and open all the links, because it was supposed to be like I kind of forget what these are, and then we sort of figure it out as we go along type meme. But since you guys can kind of see them as I'm opening them, it kind of takes it away. Roma, which is another Netflix original. This is another very much a product of its time, or it's very much you would enjoy it more, I think, as a woman, I guess. You very much enjoy it more, or you would get more out of it as a woman or as someone who, I mean, alive during, or in Mexico City during the 70s, but even just someone that has lived in, I don't want to put a generalization on it, but I think it's very much well, I think they said it was almost like an not autobiography, but it based on events that the director had gone through. And so, like I said, it very much a product of its time period. I mean, it came out 2018, yeah. I thought it was great. Like I said, I think it would speak to more people that related to it on a more emotional level. And, you can't really control what you relate to. Like, what was it that, like, Killing Them Softly, there was another one, I don't think it's on this list, I can't think of it right now, but you can't control what speaks to you and what doesn't. It's what I'm trying to say. That's the wrong button. Alright, next. Oh boy. Oh baby. Oh jeez, Rick. That's not. Hang on. Now this is what many people would call Wells's crowning achievement in his later work, even though this was only like, 56? 66. The same year... Never mind. No, that was same year as Persona? I'm getting my years mixed up, but I believe... Yeah, okay, 66. I'm not crazy. Very much... I mean, I think the direction... The story didn't have much until the ending. It was very long. It felt long. I think it was only like 2 hours, maybe a bit more, but it felt very, it felt longer than that. But towards the ending, the story is sort of turned into that. I would say the ending excuses where the story kind of lacked a bit in the beginning. It's very much a Shakespearean homage. In fact, it said it was based on some of the plays by Shakespeare. I don't know to what extent. I am not a, what do you call, thespian, but it's I read Romeo and Juliet in the 9th grade. Actually, I read it in the 5th grade, so I'm better than all of you. That's real, by the way. I read that in the 5th grade. It's kind of weird chant. I also read Macbeth. I kind of liked Shakespeare in the 5th grade. And then I peaked in the 5th grade, by the way. Did you know that? But I don't hesitate at all to call it a masterpiece. Some people say it's his best work. I disagree because I think Citizen Kane is the perfect movie, and it's weird to say that, right? Because that's what you're supposed to say, because that's what most people think. And so it's like a kind of a weird time, because like this, probably in a filmmaking level, this is definitely better and closer to a 10. Alright, and not the last one. No, there's several more. Black Hole, this was the point. You can see that these are not balanced at all. There's 3 tiers, just nothing, right? So I reached a point where I was like, okay, and you'll see on my Letterboxd, almost, I gave, let's see, 8 out of 10, 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 9, 9, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10. And all of these, watching these 2 a day, sometimes even 3 a day, back to back to back to back. I was getting burnt out on the 8 out of 10s because I didn't want to feel like I was growing soft, because you can tell, like, I'm only watching, like, I'm not watching, like, unknown movies. Like, these are Criterion Collection, A24, like, I was only watching movies that I knew would be good. Not that I necessarily would like, but I knew they were good. And so I reached a point where I was like, bruh, I'm sick of 8s. And so I was starting to feel like Vriska. That was a Homestuck funny, by the way. That was an unfunny Homestuck, by the way. And so I went on Twitter and I asked for what's a 6 out of 10 or lower that is still good. And once again, Mr. Seaman came through. I think you recommended this to me before that as well, but I just ignored you. Because that's the type of human being I am. Disney's Black Hole. What year? I have it in my notes. 1982, is that right? No. 79. Yes. And he said that most of it is average, but it has a very memorable ending. Or one of the best endings, in fact, he said. I disagree, having watched it. It has a great ending, I would say. But it's very much like a Star Trek Twilight Zone type meme, but long. It's like a long Star Trek Twilight Zone Star Wars ripoff. And I mean that in the best way possible. Because it was great. It was very Star Trek-y. Like the original series, I mean. Not that I'm a, what do you call it, Trekkie? Oh, that's literally what the fan base is called, if I'm not mistaken. But, how long have I been streaming, by the way? Oh, only an hour? Huh. I've had such a bad time that it's felt like forever. Kind of like what it felt like watching this movie. Ooh, roasted, air horn, MLG. Hey, now, you're... I'm dying. I'm slowly dying. I'm gonna drink some more water. I feel a little bit sick. Not like actually. I sure do love, bruh. Bruh. When did I mute? I don't even remember. I said the ending brought it up from an F to a D. Well, it's not an F. It brought it up from an E to a D. That's what I meant to say. What did I just say? Oh, please, someone in the chat, has someone seen this movie? Because I really need a second opinion on this. Please. Please, I beg of you. I honestly have no idea what other people think of this movie. Let me pull it up on Letterboxd. Where? It is here. No, it would be... Hang on. Not reviews, ratings. What did other people think of it? Yeah, I know that the people I follow didn't like it, but they're stupid people. What did I... No, been constantly pushing it back. That's what I was doing for weeks for months. I'd seen this in my Netflix and Canopy and everything for months. And I'd never watched it because I thought it looked kind of dumb. And what I found out... And what I found out from watching it was that it wasn't dumb. It was so stupid. And it was kind of the best thing ever. I think this is a very good description. You've never seen a movie like this, but this time it's true. It actually is true. You're completely on board by the title sequence. Title card. Think Red Letter Media liked it? Okay, well that's all the validation I need, because I know the YMS, IHE, all that, they didn't really care for it. But I kind of thought it was amazing. I absolutely loved it. And it's not like a comedy. Well, no, it's hard to describe. It's like, it's not the type of thing you watch and like laugh. Like, there aren't jokes. I mean, there are funny things that happen, but it's more of just like amusing, I guess you would say. Because it's not that it's not funny enough to make me laugh. It's just that it wasn't trying to, like, it's not a comedy. It is, though. It's like a lighthearted. It's different. It's so very different that I can barely describe it without just talking about it. And it's amazing. I gave it a 9 out of 10. When I was watching it, I was thinking about giving it a 10. But then I realized that would be ridiculous, because it's yeah. Okay, someone has watched it. It's funny but more weird than funny. Yeah. But I really liked it a lot. I loved it, in fact. So I'm putting it in the A tier. It was very weird. I think that's a good way of putting it. Just weird. But like amusing. And also kind of heartwarming. Very hard to describe. Charming. I think charming is a good way of putting it. Entertaining, charming, yeah. There are too many A's. Well, like I said, I only watched movies that I knew were good. I think this is accurate so far, looking back. I might. Okay, I'm thinking about moving La Strada down. I think I liked it more than Roma, but I definitely liked it on the same level as yeah, I think that's fair. So we're going to move these over a bit. Alright. I think we're down to our last 2. 3. Now this one, I know what you're thinking. Who's seen it? I don't know, because I know it's like a classic or something, right? It's a beloved. I don't even know. I'll explain why I watched it in a bit. But who has seen this, or who has heard of this? I don't know. I'll just go ahead and explain. I was sort of writing, or I was watching one of those screenwriting 101 type videos that you get in your recommended after watching like one video. And it was this screenwriting supervisor, or the person that would greenlight a screenplay and decide to make a movie. And they were talking about how you've seen, okay, so no one's seen this, but they're talking about how like 99% of the screenplays like get rejected, and they used this film as an example of how to write. I think they said like 99% of people are just writing a story, and they're looking for a story with I think it was like meaning, or something along the lines of like a meaning or something. And they used this film as an example. And so I was like, and they made a big deal of like, oh, it's a lovely movie, classic movie, you need to watch it. And so I was like, oh, it's on Netflix, so I'll watch it. And I get what they were saying now about the specific example, and if no one's seen it, then I won't go into it. But I'll just talk about the movie, because I have my opinions. I didn't love it very much. I don't know. How should I put it? Well, since people haven't seen it, or haven't seen it all the way, it's about an actor that can't get a job anywhere as an actor. And he gets, and like every part that he auditions for, they just say, oh, we're looking for someone else. And so eventually he gets so fed up that he's good at makeup, they establish in the opening credits. It's very forced, in my opinion. It's kind of out of left field. But he dresses as a woman and auditions as a woman. And like Seaman just said, this would not fly nowadays. And I completely agree, but for multiple reasons, because like I said, I'm the type of person I can put aside modern day standards and modern day things for a movie that was made in 89, I believe, 82. Wow, 82. So yeah, 1982, completely different time. I mean, you have to disregard everything you know about like modern day standards for LGBT, just representation in media. You know, it's a completely different time, completely different representation in media. This was a comedy, and I'm yeah, exactly, Terabit, and that's exactly what it is. And I'm the type of person, I realize I know there are lots of people that can't do that, and they would say this film is offensive, it's should not be viewed, and I can respect that opinion. I used to think there's people that thought that were stupid, but I respect that opinion. I've come to... Well, anyway, point is, I think this movie is flawed even in that frame of mind of thinking that in a different time, because I can tell you why. Because the issue that I had, or not the issue that I had, like I said, I don't care about much of anything. I'm a bit of a sociopath, a bit of a completely unempathetic, just garbage human being. But it did bother me a little bit while watching this film that one of the messages of it was there's this young actress that what was it? Dorothy, which is the female name that the actor, I forget his name, but the actor, it says it, whatever. I lost my train of thought. But young actress, and she's inspired by this man dressing up as a woman. And there's just a bunch of things like, oh, you've taught me that it's okay to stand up for myself. And the messaging essentially boiled down to, like, you made me realize all of these things. And it was kind of implying that it took a man to help her see those things. And that kind of didn't sit well with me. But like I said, I'm just the funny YouTube man. I don't know much about anything. I poo-poo pee-pee, eat food. I just eat hamburger and edit all day. I don't know much about anything, but that didn't sit well with me. And the man is a female thing has been done to death by this point. So I did not really like it. I gave it a 5. But compared to these, I give it below Black Hole, because Black Hole I enjoyed. This was just kind of cringe, not gonna lie. 82, oh yeah. A fine year. But I didn't like this. I just thought it was kind of boring. It's the type of thing you'd like watch at your grandma's house with like a VHS when you have nothing to do all afternoon. Cloverfield I watched because of Red Letter Media. Not James Gunn, J.J. Abrams produced this. homage to the 50s monster movies. A little known fact about SirChancealot. I'm kind of a big fan of the kaiju stuff. I'm a big fan of just the massive scale monsters, and I don't know why, but this is sort of the homage, modern day Godzilla, but as found footage. And look, found footage, I mean, there's a very few that's done it right. And I mean, I'm not going to say this was perfect in terms of found footage, but it worked. It was very predictable at times. Like, as soon as, I mean, there's certain beats that, like, they have to hit. There's certain plot points that's in every monster big, like, doomsday movie. It was a doomsday movie. Had a pretty sad ending, I guess, but it was very predictable for me. And it is for me. Movies, they are for me. I don't know. I liked it a lot. Don't get me wrong. I really liked this, but it was very, I don't know. Like, as soon as they got into the sewer, like, as soon as they walked into, or as soon as they saw the little spider things jumping off, I was like, okay, so now they have things they have to get off the streets. And then they go into the subway, and I'm like, okay, I know for a fact they're going to go into the tunnels. I pictured the shot, like, perfectly, and it was almost exactly as it played out. It's going to be really dark. They're going to be like, what was that noise? They're going to turn on a flashlight, and they're going to see the spider. They're going to run. They're going to have a struggle, and they're going to get out, and one of them is not going to make it. And that's exactly, like, literally exactly what happened. And I thought of that as soon as they entered the subway, like, before they even went in the tunnels. So basically, I'm better than the movie. I'm smarter than the movie. C tier. But I still have a soft spot for the big scale monster movies. I thought the monster, like, I wasn't a huge fan of the monsters design. It was just very standard. I liked the, like, large scale. But it was also refreshing to see something that worked very well as its own thing. Remember liking Cloverfield? Being really into the viral marketing? TJ Miller being annoying. Yeah, I mean, it was, they're like opening where they were like just filming it in the going away party. That was pretty forced, and I mean, it was very predictable. I'll leave it at that. Very predictable. Last thing I watched was a comedy special on Netflix. Stand-up comedy special, which if you're a cool Gen Zer like me, you think of stand-up comedy, that is kind of cringe. And you're right. This poster is also kind of cringe. Haven't really looked at this. Don't know why they make it look so bad. Oh, and that's it. Oh yeah, I feel like I was a bit harsh on that movie. I actually liked it a good bit. There were a lot of stuff that worked a lot. A lot of visuals too. I mean, I like the monster movies. I like the Doomsday monster movies, and I liked that more than the Godzilla remake. Anyway, I watched this only because of Red Letter Media. He was on Best of the Worst, and he cameoed in Space Cop, which I have watched. And Emery, when you and Connor come over, we're definitely gonna watch Space Cop. Akira, we'll watch Akira some other time. We're gonna watch Space Cop. But he was on Red Letter Media, and so I assumed, okay, he must be kind of keck. And this just came out, May 19th. Like, I watched it the day it came out, just because I was bored and didn't feel like watching any movies, so I sort of just cheated. And look, I'm not going to say that there aren't good stand-up comedians. There's like 4. There's Bo Burnham, Chris D'Elia, Eric Andre, I guess Gus Johnson. I think he does stand-up. I don't know. But that's it. I mean, and all of those are not no. Ricky Gervais. Replace Joe Rogan with Ricky Gervais. I didn't even say Joe Rogan. Why did I say that? I also sometimes, I've watched Joe Rogan. It's not great. But point is, traditional stand-up is something that has eluded many people because of the internet, right? Because the internet, it's a different style of comedy, not even in its format, just in its essence. It has to, like, the crafted joke, the art form of comedy has changed. And so watching something like this is a very standard, just traditional. What just happened? What is that? I don't know what I pressed. I laughed a couple of times, but it's just very much like, I grew up watching the Bo Burnham comedy stuff, right? And that's like a parody, challenge to the form, introspection on the form of comedy, traditional stand-up. And when you grow up, or when you start watching, like, that's my idea of comedy, is the almost self-parody of comedy. And so going backwards from that into this regular version is difficult. And it's like, what he was making fun of is now just this. I mean, he just sort of, I laughed a couple times. It just wasn't that good. It wasn't, I'm not saying everything has to be a Bo Burnham introspection challenge to the form. And I'm not, like, expecting a Filthy Frank level hee hee hoo hoo ha ha form of, I was expecting something, and it just wasn't that good. And I realize it's not fair to compare this to the rest of these. I'm putting it next to Black Hole, because I did laugh a couple times. But it was very boomer, hee hee hoo hoo, I am boomer. Boomer, zoomer, onion. Gen Z has ruined comedy? No, it has evolved comedy. We have improved comedy. And that's it. This is my completed tier list for the span of... When did I watch Tokyo Story? Let me try to figure out. Let me go in my Letterboxd. Please follow me on Letterboxd. Please follow me on Letterboxd. I'm gonna cry. I will cry. I will. These are my favorite film. These are sort of the ones I have pinned. Speaking of favorite films, I guess if you've made of my ratings at least, I'm gonna go on for a little bit longer. Why is nothing loading? Okay. Not reviews, not diary, rating. Ratings. Why is nothing loading all of a sudden? Is it lagging for you guys? Oh no. Oh no, please, no. Anyway, I'm doing a... Well, 1 year ago today, I made a list. Because I've mentioned this a couple of times, I think, but I don't know if it's just me. Not even open. I think the stream is essentially just shut down, right? Is that correct? Okay, are we up? Maybe? Maybe? Okay, we're back. Okay, I think we're back. I have no clue what happened. I'm gonna try changing the image, see if that breaks anything. Change it to something cool and funny to show that I know what I'm talking about. Ooh, okay, we'll do a still from my new video tomorrow. We'll do that. Okay, yeah. Alright. New video tomorrow, by the way. Don't expect much. It's just sort of a meme. What was I saying before it broke? Oh, so 1 year ago today, I've only been doing the film stuff. I've only been taking movies seriously, or film seriously, for the last year. Excuse me. And forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, for about the last year, and what started that was in the 9th grade, which I was a 9th grader last year. I guess I'm an 11th grader now, technically. Who knows? But in the 9th grade, we had to do a project for our world geography, year-long project about everyone in the grade selects a different country, and we do a year-long project researching and exploring the just nation and all the things, and it all accumulates into this massive, almost fair, where you have to do a massive, like, almost like a science fair, but like a trifold, what am I blanking on the word? It's trifold, like, board, and you do like a presentation, but it's like a fair. Like, people walk around, everyone's set up in the same room, everyone walks around, everyone in the grade gets their own country. And basically, I think I put Taiwan for some reason as my first one. I have no idea why. Fun fact, 9th grade SirChancealot is not canon in the SirChancealot lore. But for my second pick, I put Sweden, because PewDiePie. Unironically, because of PewDiePie. But I also thought, like, hey, that's something that a lot of people aren't going to put. I might have a chance at getting it. And I got Sweden. And that's sort of how I became a Swedaboo, by the way. And basically, I've learned a lot, blah, 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 blah. Point is, one of the things you could do for your presentation or your research was watch a film in your from your country. And I watched Ingmar Bergman's The Seventh Seal, and I was blown away. I'd never seen a movie like that before. I watched it, and by the end of it, I realized something I'd never really considered before, which was, that was the first movie where I watched it, and at the end of it, I thought, this is art. Like, this is not just a movie. This is something beyond just an entertainment purpose. This is a piece of art. And not that I hadn't seen films that I would now consider art. It's just sort of the first time I, like, realized, like, opening my eyes towards that. And so from there, every time I've watched an Ingmar Bergman film, I've learned a valuable lesson about the art form of cinema. And so that was about, like, what, April 2018? Oh, wow, so it's been 2019. I apologize, 2019. And from there, I've sort of developed my interest. And specifically in the last, like, half a year, I would say, I've been taking it especially seriously. And only in the last 2 weeks, I've started seriously just grinding, watching movie after movie after movie. But, point is, at the end, the last day of school, last day of 9th grade, 1 year ago exactly today, it just so happens that today is also the last day I finished school, but I think that was a coincidence. 1 year ago today, I made a top 10 movies of all time, and it was just to document, because I'd watched like 3 good movies at that point. Not to sound like pretentious, like, I know good movie, but the bad movie, Marvel bad. But I knew that my taste was going to develop, or at least differentiate from what it was now, so I made a top 10 movie list just for documentation, with the intention of each year making a new one. And so 1 year later, here we are. And so tonight, after this, I wanted to get into the mind space where I could think critically about movies. And so that's why I did this tonight. And I also just wanted to talk, just sort of do some stuff. And so I'm going to do that after the stream. I'm not going to do it on stream because I'm going to make it into a video. I'm going to make it into a video eventually. And I honestly don't even know. I've purposely not thought about it until tonight. And so we're going to see. We're going to see what it ends up being. Then we're going to do a video about it. And yeah, that's what the plan is. That's what the whole point of tonight was. So if this was a unfunny, cringe stream, I apologize, but that's just who I am. Bruh, 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 bruh. Haha. Got him, am I right, lads? So yeah, that's it. Anyone have any last words? Oh yeah, there is a new video tomorrow, but that's completely unrelated to what I'm doing. Well, actually, I mean, I guess I can say tomorrow is the 6-year anniversary of my debut on the internet, predating this channel. It was on a different channel. So there's just a sort of, it's a 5 minutes 47-second video. It's just sort of a meme. It's a recreation of what we did in that first video. So it don't expect much. Don't expect much, but I guess we'll go ahead and end it. It's been about a little under 2 hours. This was not a great stream. I'm not blind to the fact. I need well-constructed, fluffily worded, just reviews. I need scripts, is what I'm saying. Trying to figure out how to end it. There we go. That's how we end it. That's how we end it. I just got a notification from Reddit. Said r/just neckbeard things. Suggested sub. What is that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean, Reddit? What do you mean suggestion? r/just neckbeard things. What is that supposed to mean? Top post. How do you go 62 days without a shower? Why is that? Why am I getting notified? Hey man, we're so confident that you're gonna like this that we're gonna notify you. Like, that's how confident we are. Anyway, 10 a.m. tomorrow. Be there or pee pee poo 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 pee pee poo 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 poo